How you doing? I'm going to work on a couple of problems from Module 2 today, and the intent is to help those of you who are struggling a little bit to get started on this, okay? So, first of all, I want to just go through a little bit of the fundamentals of matrices. So let's look at A, and let's say it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, okay? So A is it's 2 rows by 3 columns. Easy enough, right? And so let's say I want to multiply A times A. Well, if I try to do that, so let's say we'll say B is equal to A times A. I could do that in MATLAB, right? And so the that's a star right there. So MATLAB's going to look at that, and it's going to say the dimensions of A are 2 by 3, and the dimensions of A are 2 by 3. And it's going to look at the inner dimensions, and it's going to say that they don't match, and so it's going to give you an error. Something like, star inner dimensions must match. Okay. Now there's so if we want to multiply matrices together, then we would need a matrix. Let's call it C, and let's say that C then is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now if I try to multiply, say D is equal to A times C, it's going to say, matrix A is 2 by 3, and matrix C, I didn't do it, but it's actually 3 rows by 2 columns. That's 3 by 2, and the inner dimensions do agree, and the result is going to be the outer dimensions, and so D then is going to be a 2 by 2 matrix. Okay. And and just one more thing about that, just kind of while we're on the subject here. If we have D is equal to A by C, the first thing, of course, you can do is you can say 2 by 3 and 3 by 2, and so D is going to be 2 by 2. So that that's a good thing to do anytime you're doing a multiplication or any kind of matrix operation. Is to check the dimensions. If the dimensions work, you got a chance of the operation actually working. And so to do that multiplication, you would have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times the matrix 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And so that's A times C, and the answer is going to be in D. And the way you do that is you take this row times this column. So it's going to be 1 times 1 is 1, 2 times 3 is 6, that makes 7, 3 times 5 is 15, 15 and 7 is 22. So that guy is going to be 22, and then you can calculate these other terms here as well. So now this term is going to be this row times this column, that goes in there. This row times this column, and that goes in there. And then finally this row times this column, and that goes in there. And so that's how you multiply in using matrices.